for today's video, I want to talk to you about a matter that I think is very important, as well as my own personal breast cancer scare that happened when I was just starting high school. And I think this is very important. Yes, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but outside of that, I think that any time of the year, it's very important for us to be aware of what we are and who we are as women or as men, because men can get breast cancer too, and a lot of people don't know that. But recently I had the honor of attending the Tigerlily Foundation Pajama Glam event, which is an event made for girls, young girls, to educate them about cancer and tell them, you know, what it means if their mom has cancer, or get girls who are younger to actually start checking themselves, because most people don't think, oh, a 12-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 20-year-old can get sprayed there. Most people don't think that people that age can get breast cancer, when as a matter of fact it is quite common and very treatable if caught in its early stages, no matter what age you're at. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my personal scare. To start off, I had an amazing time at the Tigerlily event, and I just wanted to say that, you know, it really inspired me to kind of, because, you know, I pushed that memory to the back of my head, but it inspired me to talk about it and just to kind of put it out there, so that if you've never checked yourself for breast cancer before, maybe you can, and, you know, maybe you can inspire someone else to do it and hopefully save a life somewhere down the line. Breast cancer can happen at any age. It can happen to men or women, and the Tigerlily event really taught me about that. I mean, I've heard of men getting breast cancer, but I never really thought of it, and, you know, because of my own personal situation, I kind of knew that it could happen young, but I didn't realize how much of a problem it was. And what's beautiful about Tigerlily is that it actually shows girls, like, if your mom has breast cancer, this is how you deal with it. And the founders of Tigerlily, the mom is actually a survivor of breast cancer, and it's the daughter who started this foundation, so, or nonprofit charity. So if you are interested in checking out their website, I will link it to you. I had a great time at the event. I did makeovers on some of the girls, which is amazing. And I'm not a makeup artist. Like, holy crud muffins. I do makeup on myself. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. I can not do makeup on other people, so I was really, really scared. But Wet n Wild donated a ton of different cosmetics, and I had a ton of fun putting on glitter, and it was just a blast. But that being said, I did want to talk to you about my own personal breast cancer scare, and why do I have such an itchy nose? My God, I thought I got over this issue years ago. Huh. You guys remember the itchy nose problem? It was like in every video, and it was totally obnoxious because it itches. But back when I was in high school, we actually had health class. And I remember the health class teacher, he had a jar of McDonald's French fries on top of his cabinet. And he kept them there for the entire year just to prove that they wouldn't rot, and they didn't, and it was disgusting. But we were in his health class, and they were passing around these fake little miniature boobs, and they were like, look kids, this is how you teach yourself for breast cancer, like poke at it, see what happens. And I started poking at it, and I was like, okay, like this is awkward. Like, it was really awkward in class, you know what I mean? And I was already hated in that class, so I just kind of sat there. I was just like, yeah. I remember going home that day, and I think I was like in the shower, and I was just like, oh, okay, I'll do what they did in health class. And I started poking at myself, and I was like, holy crud muffins. There's something, kind of a lump here that feels like it did in health class. And I was like, this has got to be a joke. Like, it'll go away in a couple of days. A couple of days it didn't go away. A week it didn't go away. And I started getting really scared. And I didn't want to talk to, you know, my male health teacher, but my mom, cancer runs in the family. My grandma died of lung cancer, and my grandpa is a 3-time survivor of lung and skin cancer, and lung, skin, and some other cancer. And then my grandma on that side also had ovarian cancer, and then my grandma on my dad's side, no, my great grandma, I think, died of like a mysterious vaginal problem, which is weird because I have 2 vajayjays. But she died when my grandma was 15 back in Ukraine and Russia and Germany, in that area where they were traveling and stuff. But you know, I brought this to my mom's attention because she was a nurse, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm really scared, what do I do? And she kind of felt this lump, and it almost felt like a pea. Like, you know, like a pea, or like a grain of corn, like in my boob. And there was just one of them, and then one that was really small on the other side. And I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, okay, well, let's check this out. And she felt it, and she was like, this is interesting, like I'm a little bit scared. And it was actually very, very frightening because she kind of explained what was going on. She said it could be benign or it could be a problem, but they're going to have to biopsy it to make sure, because I could have breast cancer and it could be just starting, or that could be just a very small sign of something that's going on deeper down. So they ended up sticking needles in me, and I swear to God, I almost bit that nurse because I do not do well with needles. I don't think anyone knows this, but I have an extreme phobia of needles. Like, I cannot handle them. I have kicked, I have spat, oh my God, I like will go anywhere to avoid a needle. And I've gotten better recently, but I have like this huge problem with them. At least we know I'll never be an intravenous drug user, right? But they ended up biopsying it, and I remember being very scared, and there were thoughts that went through my mind like, okay, what happens if I have cancer? Like, am I going to die? Am I going to have to remove my breasts? Like, it was very scary. The biopsy did end up coming back benign, but you know, ever since then I've been more conscious about my health. That was like my first health conscious experience, because I was like, hold up. Even if it's not cancer, what would cause my body to grow a cyst? What would cause my body to grow that kind of thing? So that's when I started, like, every year, like, doing regular checks of myself, and that's when I actually started going, you know, more into medicine and even holistic medicine. And I think back kind of when I decided I wanted to become a dermatologist and help other people with their skin, because I said medicine can help people and I want to understand these things. Curiosity killed the cat, and it sure did make me not sleep for a good 5 years. But that being said, that was my breast cancer scare, and I have known people in my life, and I've been blessed to work with a lot of nonprofits and charities and foundations, and I have met many people throughout the years who have, you know, survived or lost people to breast cancer. One of my best friends in New York, one of her best friends a couple years ago, actually died of cancer. I think it was breast cancer, and you know, it's amazing because it hits our lives a lot more than you think. And I was always that person who was like, oh, breast cancer, like, why should I care? It doesn't affect me. And I realized, no, there are people all around my life that have had it. I had a scare with it myself when I was younger. And it's just something to be conscious of. So check yourself or get someone else checked out. You can do those mammograms when you're older, but even at a young age, it is very, very important for everyone to just be conscious of their body. So also something I wanted to talk about, Lindy, what is her name? Lindy, I don't know her last name, but she's an anchor on the news station. She is actually going through cancer right now, and I know that she's not doing well. My prayers and thoughts are with her. But recently I got free skincare. I am not promoting this skincare. I am not pushing this skincare. I am just kind of talking about it as an option. I have to say I've barely tried this. I have not used it on my face. I'm very picky about what I use on my face, and I divide my face in half, and I only use specific products for 2 to 3 months to see what's actually working, because we've talked about it before, but you know, I want to see if a product works on my skin. So I've only been using this for like shaving and stuff on my body. I don't actually know if it works on my skin. But I did want to just mention it because it is made by Lindy, who has breast cancer, and it is actually made for people who are going through chemo treatment. And the reason why is because chemo, which I know with my grandma, it can be very drying to the skin. You lose your hair and a whole bunch of stuff, but it can be very, very difficult to find products that are moisturizing enough, and you know, you can have a hard time hydrating your skin. And on top of that, you can't put Rogaine or hormones on top of your skin or chemicals, because it can actually worsen the cancer if you already have it, or it can react with the cancer or things like that. You don't want to mess with that stuff. So supposedly, by the way, my camera died, so that's why it's like a different angle or I put stuff down or whatever, but her line is supposedly supposed to help with that moisturization and supposed to not contain those chemicals that are harmful. So I don't know, because like I said, I don't have cancer. I didn't even use the products. It's just something that was given to me that I think is an option out there, and if that's what she's using on her skin, look it up for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Don't take her word for it, but look it up. Because maybe it'll help someone who's going through that. But yeah, cancer is very relevant to all of us, and if you've tried the skincare, tell me if you like it or not. But I think that regardless of her skincare line, I think that she is an inspirational woman, and she is in my prayers, as well as anyone else who is currently going through breast cancer, who has been a survivor, had the scare in the past, for anyone who will go through it in the future, or for anyone who knows anyone who has, you know, had it in their life or lost someone, because I feel you. But I hope that this video helps. I hope that it just raises a little bit of awareness, and some people might say this is a stupid video. I'm sorry if you feel that way. Thank you for watching anyways. I get a lot of people who say they don't like my videos, and I'm like, I apologize. Tell me what you want to see, and if I'm not good at makeup tutorials, I know, I'm just trying to share what I do. So tell me what you guys want to see. If this video is pointless to you, I do apologize, but I'm hoping that it will help somebody out there who maybe didn't think to check, because I had a scare with it, and I know it is a very real thing, and it has touched my life through other people. And I just want to make sure it touches people's lives in the right way, not in a physical way. And if it does, that you can identify and get rid of it. But I love you guys. I hope that you know that. I love you with my breast right here. That's really awkward, but it's true. I love you. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing day, and thank you for watching this video if you did, if you made it to the end. So I love you guys. Thank you for letting me share my story. I hope that this helps, and I cannot wait to talk to you on the next one. Love you guys. Bye.